Yabba dabba doo. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name is Brian. Thanks for joining me. Today's video is going to be about the Sunferno Flintstone 5000 mAh solar charger. Okay, so I got to tell you, at least in my opinion, what this is actually is a 5000 mAh external storage battery to charge your phone. In other words, the solar is not the primary means for charging this battery. Typically, this is going to be a charge from a USB device, just like your phone or whatever, and just kept with you for storage. So you'll have a immediately available, 5,000 mAh to charge your phone. But it does have the added benefit, if you're in the woods long term or away from electricity long term, you can charge this battery with a solar. But I'm guessing if it takes 5 to 7 hours with the USB, you're looking at a couple of days to fully charge this thing. But sorry, we're in the flight path here of Atlanta Airport. But it is a handy feature to have because it will charge the battery, and if nothing else, it'll get at least enough maybe to make an emergency call. And long term, it'll charge. So if you're out in the woods for a while, it will maintain itself. And I think honestly, if you just charge your phone a little bit here and there and leave this in the sun all day long, then it's going to wind up, long term it'll be at least better than a non-solar battery. How about that? So anyway, before I set a new record for rambling, I haven't even shown the close-ups yet. We'll go ahead and talk about some of the specs on this thing. We'll do some close-ups and try to let you see kind of what all the features this thing has, and then we'll do some of that charging stuff. Okay, once again, this is the Sunferno Flintstone solar chargeable external battery. This charger features a 5,000 milliamp lithium polymer battery, a 1.2 watt military grade solar panel. It is IPX4 waterproof, which basically means it's rainproof. It's not submersible, and is 2-meter drop rated. Also features a LED emergency flashlight. Has two 5-volt USB outputs for a 2.1 amp total output. Also comes with a mini carabiner to attach it to your pack and a charging cord to charge it from a USB source. Okay, so let's talk about a couple of things real quick about this. First of all, you can see that the USB covers have a kind of a dust cover on them, and that's really what this is. This is not submersible. It is rainproof, sprinkle proof. So in other words, if you're out in the rain, it's probably not gonna, as long as you don't just sit it underneath a downpour, it's probably gonna be okay. But these little covers are definitely not submersible, and it's also got two of them. So, and on the other side, it's got the little charging port where you charge with the provided USB cord. So the way this thing works is basically you plug your device in, it starts charging. There's no no turn on or anything. It has a power switch on here, and that's good for two things. You hit it one time and it shows you the charge level. You can see that all four are lit up, all four little LEDs. So that means it's fully charged. And as it goes down, obviously you're going to see lower. But so you just hit it one time, it goes off. It's by itself in about 35 seconds. There's really nothing else to do. Okay, so I brought it in here under the shade because it's my experience that phones and stuff don't show up very well in the sunlight. But if you can see this has got one green light there. That means that the solar panel is putting out some sort of power. Obviously we're in the shade here, so it's not going to put out nearly as much as it will in direct sunlight, but just to show you that that's what happens when you cover it up, it goes out. So it's registering the fact that there's some ambient light here. Now it's going to obviously put out a lot better in direct sunlight, but that's another little feature. The other thing is the light in here. The way you actuate the light is you hold the power button here for 2 seconds and the light comes on. You hold the power button again for 2 seconds and the light goes off. So that's really the only time you use the power button. Use it for the light, and you just use it to check your charge, and you can see that it's fully charged, and it's not going to go off again by itself for 35 seconds. So let's hook up some devices and see how well this thing actually does some charging. Okay, so I've got it hooked to my iPhone now, and you can see that right now it is not charging. And I found for some reason this little cord on the bottom of my iPhone, I have to take it and turn it around, and usually it'll start charging. So now you can see the little thing is green and it's charging, and it's at 65% right now. So we'll give it a few minutes and see how well it does. And we're going to charge it with the timer on, just because that way that'll slow the charging down a little bit, but it'll also kind of give you an idea of how long it takes maybe to get a few minutes, a little bit of charge. So it's at 65%, and we'll let it go. Okay, so actually what I thought we might do while we're doing this is go ahead and plug up the iPad just to see if maybe it'll charge two devices at one time. This is an old iPad. I'm sure it's got a pretty big draw, but let's see if this thing, looky there. So it is putting out enough, at least juice, to cover two devices, and these are intelligent output. So in other words, they're gonna I guess adjust themselves to whatever desired output your device needs. And let's see if we're still charging. Yep, still charging. I don't know if you can see the little, oh, about dropped it. Well, little lightning bolt there. So, you know, it may or may not completely charge both of them, because 5,000 milliamps is 5,000, right? But it's definitely doing some charging. And you can see that even with two things connected, it's up to 66% now. So it's going to do what a 5,000 mAh battery will do, basically. Okay, you can see it's been about 5 minutes, and we are up to 69% on the iPhone. This is an iPhone 6, and that's while simultaneously being plugged into the iPad 1. It's ancient. But I'll have to tell you that so far the percentage on the iPad 1 is not moved. It was at 94%, I believe. So it's not really charging this really quickly, but it is obviously it's just pulling from this battery because the little charge indicator's on, and yet it's still charging the iPhone. So not too bad. So what I thought we'd do now, before I deplete the battery on this thing, it's still got 4 bars, so it's just do a little drop test and make sure she still works after getting dropped. So let me readjust things and we'll do that. Okay, so got her here. I'll back up. I'm on a concrete pavilion here at State Park. So we're going to back up and drop this thing from about 6 feet. Well, maybe it just says 2 meters, so I'm about 5'8", so head high, that'd be close enough. So we'll drop it a time or two out here on the concrete. Hopefully you can see this. And okay, so it bounced a little bit. The green light's still on. We'll do it again. Oh, it hit it really, really solid and flat that time. So, and you can see the green light's still on. That was a pretty solid wrap. I hit the power button one time. Those come on. So let's see if it actually charges still. Okay, actually I want to kind of give you a close-up of where this thing is going to hit. So I thought we'd do is, before I try to charge it, I'm dropping it again from head height. I mean, that was a solid hit. One more time. A little bouncer. Okay, so green light's still on. Power light's still on. Now let's see if it charges. Okay, so we're trying to do a little simulated rain here. We agree that's probably as wet as you're going to want to get it with the rain. So let's see how she works now. Still got the blue lights going. Okay, so take a look inside there. It's not too wet. I believe it'd be prudent to kind of make sure. I mean, that would be what I would do if I was in the rain with this thing. Or, you know, so I'm not going to be stupid and kind of blow these out. But from all appearances, I don't see anything unusual about it. Sorry. Got you out of the camera there, so we'll go ahead and plug the USB here in first so you can see what's going on with the phone, and plug the phone in again, see if we wind up with that charge. Alright, so I got to turn my connector over. There we go. Still charging. Okay, I got to admit, I'm pretty impressed. Honestly, when the folks at Sunferno contacted me, asked me if I'd like to test this thing and see how well it worked, you know, I've already done something similar, but I thought, you know, this is a little another take on it. I checked the reviews; they had some really good reviews. So I said, sure, it was, you know, I'll be happy to check it out. And so first of all, thanks again to the folks at Sunferno for sending me this so I can show it to you. I got to tell you, I think this is really, really well made. I'm impressed with the way it works. You know, I dropped it hard on some concrete from this high, four times maybe, bounced around, banged around, hit it really solid, it worked fine. Poured water on it, in my opinion, which would be more drastic than a rainstorm, a rain shower. Worked just fine. It actually, you know, got two devices at the same time charging. One of them being an iPad, which has got a pretty big draw. So that was really a kind of almost a torture test of the output of this thing, and it did just fine. You know, again, this is an external storage battery primarily with an ability to recharge in an emergency with solar. This is not the suggested primary method for recharging this. You're going to want to use a USB on a wall wart or your, you know, however you charge USB devices, because that's going to charge a lot faster. But again, in a grid down or a long-term situation, or you're just out in the woods for a few days, it definitely will recharge itself in some sun, and it actually has an automatic restart. So if it does go behind clouds or whatever, you don't have to keep fiddling with it. You just leave it plugged, you know, just leave it in the sun, it'll charge itself up. So I think the Sunferno Flintstone has earned a big yabba dabba doo. So I know I could not resist that. I mean, I don't know why they named it Flintstone, but it's begging for a yabba dabba doo. So anyway, I hope that this has been helpful. If you're looking for a pretty cool little way to, you know, charge your phone in an emergency and keep it with you, it's very lightweight. I'll put in the specs how much it weighs, but it's super lightweight. Those lithium polymer batteries are not heavy at all. They're not prone to explosion or anything like that. They're very, very safe batteries. So again, the Sunferno Flintstone portable solar chargeable battery pack from Sunferno. As always, thanks for watching Survival on Purpose. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for clicking that like button. Thanks for sharing it with your friends. Thank you for watching those ads and for clicking those Amazon links. I really appreciate your support. Once again, my name is Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival is not an accident, so be prepared. See you next time.